There you
go. Okay. Wednesday night, June 14th, 2006. New topic tonight from an old author. As we know, we always discuss Maran. We've had numerous classes in the past. Do we accept Maran? Do we not accept Maran? Who was Maran? Why Maran? What's going on? We've never really come to any conclusion yet, even though we say we accept Maran. We've proven on many occasions that we don't follow Maran. But our Hachamim seem to also have been saying that, yes, we follow Maran. So tonight we're going to read an article on this topic. Matai ובאילו מקומות נתקבל השולחן ערוך להלכה פסוקה. When and where was the Shulhan Arukh accepted as bottom line halacha? This was written by Rabbi Yaakov Moshe Toledano. As we know, he was one of our old-time Sephardi Hachamim, and he was also not just a Hacham, he was also a Hokir. He used to investigate and research things. He was responsible for putting out many things from Kitab Yad, and for researching Kitab Yad, and for bringing many Sephardim to the awareness of their rich heritage. He passed away in 1960.
Who was the other Rabbi Toledano that was sort of... They say he was a Habruta with Rabbi Mesas, Rabbi Yosef Mesas.
That's different Toledano.
Different Toledano.
Yeah, the Bet Din of Meknes, when Rabbi Yosef Mesas was on it, was also Rabbi Baruch Toledano and Rabbi Rafael Baruch Toledano. Okay?
Right, okay.
Okay. We've done in the past a piece from Rabbi Baruch. We did some of his teshuvot a while back.
But I think he was usually, that's what I was being told, that one of whichever Toledano it was more mahmir usually than Rabbi Mesas.
Yes, both of them were more mahmir. Nobody. Rabbi Yosef Mesas was in a class by himself. He was unbelievable. Even in this book in front of you right here on the table, Sofei Peri Damasik, since it's talking about Rabbi Yosef Dana, who was originally from Damascus, and then he was rabbi of the Syrian and Lebanese congregation in Haifa, and then of course later on in his life Rabbi Yosef Mesas was the chief rabbi of Haifa, so they had, obviously a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And so it has a small section in this book about it, and the writer talks about what an unbelievable personality. He knew how to speak to anybody about any subject under the sun, and in such a nice way. And he was one of the only rabbis in the history of Haifa and in most cities that was able to get along with all the non-religious politicians and leaders, and he was always invited to their offices, and he spoke to them, and they loved to see him, and they treated him, with the utmost respect, because he was an unbelievable man. Okay. מתי ובאילו מקומות קבל השולחן ערוך להלכה פסוקה מאת הרבי יעקב משה טולדנו. עד לפני חיבור בית יוסף השולחן ערוך לא הייתה הכרעה ופסק ההלכה בדברים שיש בהם מחלוקת. ואנו מוסיעים בנידון זה סתירות בדברי הפוסקים. Right? Obviously, until the formulation of the Shulhan Aruch the way we know it today, there was a lot of times there was no bottom line. And we found, confrontations and differences of opinion and, outright, totally different views from one posek to the next. And we find different words in the poskim. Rabbi Yosef Karo, Dodo shel Bet Yosef, right, the uncle of Rabbi Yosef Karo, בתשובה שבסוף שאלות תשובות בית יוסף, לאבן העזר כותב, שבכל ספרד נוהגים בכל הדיניים ובכל ענייני איסור והעתק כסברת הראש. Okay? Now we think in our mind, the Rosh, Ashkenazi, German, what are we talking about? And now Rabbi Yosef Karo, the uncle of Manash Haruch, somebody who himself was living in Sefarad, in Spain,
right.
He writes in the Teshuvah that throughout all of Sefarad, people are accustomed to. The law goes according to the Rosh. Everything, all the dinim, all the Anyanei Yisur Veheter, according to the reasoning of the Rosh. וכן כתר רבנו בסלאל, סימן כ"ב, שהראש הוא רבם של גלות החיל הזה, אשר כנענים עד צרפת וספרד. Okay, he's using the word from the pasuk itself, معوجة. וגם מהרם דנון, הרב האחרון בפורטוגול, שהוא בעוד דבריו בברכי יוסף חוש המשפט סימן כ"ה, כתב שנהגו בספרד לפסוק כהראש אף נגד הריב הרמב"ם. So the last rabbi of Portugal, okay, the last one, it's unbelievable, Maharam Danon, saying that the custom in Spain was to follow the rulings of the Rosh even against the Rif and the Rambam.
Because they ruled with an iron fist, him and his son. The Rosh and...
Why? Then why do they have to accept the throughout all of Sepharad?
Because for that reason.
And why?
Because they put in Harim whoever didn't listen to them.
Let's see what he says.
Let's see what he has to say.
Let's see what he...
וכן כתב מרן באבקת רוכל סימן חוף صده שכל בני ספרד ובני אשכנזים סומכים על הראש בהוראותם ובפרט באיסור והיתר אחרי דברו לא ישנו וכולי. Now, we're going from Rabbi Yosef Karo to Rabbeinu Besalel to Maharam Danon to Maran Rabbi Yosef Karo himself.
Right, and these are witnesses of the time, right?
Basically, yeah, sure.
Basically.
And this is late.
Very good. לעומת זאת הראש עצמו כותב בתשובותיו כלל נ"ה סימן ט' ו' שבספרד ובסים כהרמב"ם.
Interesting.
The Rosh himself wrote otherwise, no? In Sefarad, they hold the Quran Rambam. וקשה לומר שלאחר מכן, אחרי התפשטות ספרי הראש, חדלו בספרד לפסוק הרמב"ם, ונהו אחרי הראש. We're going to say that now, okay. Following Rambam, now the Rosh put out some books, and boom, we're following the Rosh.
Following the Rosh, right.
There was no massive printing back then, the day of the Rosh. So how could that be even? That's not even an issue. Right or wrong?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm sorry, go ahead.
See, the assumption is that they might be following the Rambam when he comes, and
Right.
I mean, just as an assumption that because he's a teacher in Sefarad, and he's a great teacher, we assume, right? So slowly he'll take over, right? Slowly, not at the time that he reaches Sefarad,
Right. That's why it would be useful to know when he made that statement, the Rosh himself. If he made it early in his career or later on.
Right. That's a good point. I mean, I don't know when this statement was said.
Said it early, then that makes sense. Said it later.
But it might even be during his lifetime, he still sees that they're going according to Rambam. See, because there is a process. I mean, what are you going to say today? Today people are going to say, do we hold like Obadiah Yosef? A lot of people might be, you might find people going this way, that way. 20 years ago, you wouldn't find people saying Obadiah Yosef so easily, right? There's not that many books. Imagine what's going to be in 20 years from now.
Right.
It's very possible that you'll come to many communities and they'll say straight out, what do you mean not Obadiah Yosef? So it's a process, right? And this is close because there's massive printing. So the books of Obadiah Yosef are not only printed once, they're printed 1,000 times. And they reach quickly the masses, right? In their day, the book is written only 10 times, right? And, and then, how far does it reach? How quick?
But still, it still has a big influence.
Absolutely, you would think yes, but I think that the Pashtut, right, for it to really reach, and for it to really make a major influence in the communities, it will take some time.
It will take time.
It will take some time. So that's why I think your question was great. I mean, when was the statement made?
Well, you also have to think though, the Rosh didn't get to Sefarad
until
1306. Okay? Harambam was saying...
When was he born?
He was born around 1250.
So he's not young.
No. He didn't get to Spain until 1306.
Right.
So
okay?
He's not young.
And basically, he got to Barcelona.
Mm-hmm.
And Harambam was saying passed away in 1204. So 100 years after the passing of Harambam. So he had more than enough time for Harambam's, teachings, his thoughts, his ideas, his halakhic process, his laws, his system, to become somewhat entrenched among the people, because, it was a major work, obviously.
But that was Spain. I mean,
that was Spain we're talking about.
I'm saying that's how it was in Spain. It's not like he revolutionized. What he revolutionized was how to do the halakha, but in other words, like the thinking was pretty much the same, no?
It could be, but you see...
Well, the thinking may have been the same in southern Spain.
Right.
In the area of Cordoba.
Right, Muslim Spain.
Right. Okay, but no, not all of Muslim Spain. No, not all of it, definitely not. Because all of Spain at a certain point was Muslim. And then the Muslims just had to pull further and further and further and further back, until they were basically pushed out. Mm-hmm. But at some point during Harambam's lifetime, Cordoba not only was still Muslim, it became fanatic Muslim. Mm-hmm. And he was very young. They came in and they basically, made it a fanatic area. Mm. So just different areas. You had Christian Spain, things were different, obviously.
Right, and there is plus the known opposition to the Rambam. Right. I think that might be grounds for the Rosh to come in and to
But you also have to think, Rambam didn't really start writing his Mishneh Torah until around 1170.
Right.
Okay, he was long gone from Spain.
Right. He's right.
Mm-hmm. And still, this we'll call it his magnum opus hit Sefarad, and according to at least to this statement of the Rosh,
right,
they're following Harambam. Now again, there's no printing in those days. Printing didn't exist in Harambam's day. Printing did not exist, in Harambam's days. Printing didn't exist in the days of the Rosh either.
But also it's important to see in what context he's making that statement.
Right, in what context and
when.
And I guess we would need. Who else is around the time of the Rosh?
Because this could be a negative statement, no?
Who else is around this time that the Rosh is writing?
Rashba? No.
Because there's great opposition. So it's fertile ground in some places for the Rosh to create, to voice himself against the Rambam.
It's going to be hard to say also what you're saying about when and where. It's very, very difficult to find out when he wrote these things if we don't really know. Because let's say these Tishuvot of the Rosh weren't first printed until 1552. Mm-hmm. Okay? So we're talking about 225 years after the Rosh printing.
That's
printing.
Right.
We don't know when he wrote it.
Published.
But we're talking about first published, first printed 225 years after he passed away.
Right.
I don't know.
Right, because he could be making the statement, saying it like in a negative way, saying, "Oh, everyone follows the Rambam. I don't like that," or something like that.
Fine. So even if it's negative, it doesn't make a difference. It's still saying a fact.
Right.
What's the difference?
So that may be the transition between Rambam.
Well, let's see. You say العمال زود هروش عصمو كتاب شبوتها كدال نونه سمان تدفاف شبسفرات وفسيم كرمبام بكشلو ما شلا حرمي كين.
Interesting statement. Anyway, it's a very interesting statement.
بكشلو ما شلا حرمي كين أحريت بشتو سفلها روش حددوا بسفرات فسو كرمبام بينه هو أحريها روش قام هريباش سمان كاف ألف رسول وشما كتاب شبسفراد نهاجيم كهرمبام. Okay, so the Ribash is saying that. והרשב"א, סימן ריש נון א' כתב, שחיבור הרמב"ם על פיו היו פוסקים כל המערב, צפון אפריקה, וספרד והמזרח וארץ הסיבי ובבל. There's even a greater statement from Harashba. He's giving him all over the place. ورأي גם ברדב"ז חדשות סימן תש"ל א' ורלב"ח סימן ל"ב והרשדם יורה דעה סימן קנ"ג ומביט חלק ב' סימן קב לחלק ג' סימן נ"ו. So he's telling you, we have so many sources pointing to Harambam. The Rosh himself is pointing to Harambam. But not only the Rosh, the Ribash is pointing to Harambam. The Rashba is pointing to Harambam. And the Radbaz, and the Ralbah, and the Rashdam, and the Mabit. All heavy hitter Rishonim. Okay?
Yeah.
See, we said the Rosh is pointing to Harambam,
Right.
but not only the Rosh. Okay, we're saying the Ribash and the Rashba and the Radbaz and the Ralbah and the Rashdam and the Mabit. They're all saying that everybody followed Harambam.
Right, but the Mabit is these guys.
Mabit is late.
Mabit, all these guys are 1500s already.
Doesn't make a difference. But they're going by what was told to them. What was told to them, and if you look at their style of halakha, they're more or less following Harambam.
Right.
Obviously, they were.
The one thing that's clear is that when the Rosh says Besfarad, he's really talking about Spain.
Yes, he is.
I'm wondering if the others are saying Besfarad and they're talking about we're in Turkey.
No, because look at over here. V'harashba. You see this? v'harashba siman rushna kata shehibur harambam al piv hayu poskim kol ma'arab usfarad v'hem mizrah v'eres sebi u'babel.
Wow.
They're not talking about Turkey.
Right. Okay.
That's
but that's early. Rashba.
Right, Rashba, fine.
Right. Okay.
Well, that's what we're more interested in anyway.
But when you talk about the Radbaz is
the Radbaz is later
after the Rashba.
Fine, but we know the Radbaz is later. We're not saying no. It's not a question that the Radbaz is later or not. The question is the Radbaz himself left Sepharad.
Right.
He was born in Sepharad.
Right.
He didn't leave there as a kid either. Let's continue. שבין דברי הפוסקים הנזכרים מוכרחים אנו לומר שבספרד היו מקומות שנהגו כהראש ומקומות שנהגו כהרמב"ם. Okay? The only way is telling you the way that we're going to be able to put this this to rest is by saying that there were areas in Spain that followed the Rosh and areas in Spain that followed Harambam. ושינוי זה בין מקום למקום נמשך גם לאחר מכן בארצות המזרח. And these differences between the different areas of Sepharad continued even afterwards wherever they got to in the lands of the east. במקומות שאליהם באו מגורשי ספרד. Okay, these refugees, these Spanish exiles, wherever they arrived, שיש מהם נהגו כהרמב"ם ויש מהם כהראש.
On this issue,
yes,
I remember that that was a big thing that Hamadia wanted to say, that the Sephardim were always like Rambam, and then after Rambam we took Shulhan Arukh. So those are the two poskim that we took, sort of, right? Kibalnu Horaot Harambam, and then Kibalnu Horaot. And then, so because then the question was on regard to Rosh Chodesh and Halel, right? To those that make Beracha on that Halel,
right?
He says not to say.
The ones who say Beracha of the Halel, only for on Rosh Chodesh, right?
And they kept on saying that. So he holds like this. What Yosef says, when you have Beracha on a minhag that's old, you don't say Safek Berachot, even though Maran is posek against it.
Right.
Right? Because, but in this case, he says it doesn't exist. Because we were originally Rambam and then we went to Shulhan Aruch. Right? So when I was looking at that Menorat HaMaor of Ankawa, he brings there to say Hallel with Beracha.
Right.
And that would be like the Rosh. And those poskim. So I remember I brought it to Ham Yaakov Yosef and he...
and what?
He just dismissed it. He says, whatever.
That's a whole different subject. We could study the subject
No, I mean,
of...
it's not. The point was.
I understand your point,
right.
but the point is, we could also study the subject of making beracha
Right.
on halal.
Mm-hmm.
It's a whole different subject. The Moroccans love to get into it.
Yeah. Well, it was them and the Turks that were,
But nobody hears about the Turks in Israel.
I know.
So the Moroccans, who are so numerous. The Turks, who knows where they are? The Jews in Turkey, you know how people are.
Right, very quiet.
But the Moroccans, they still come out of Morocco every day.
They call the Turks the silent Jews. They call them.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's do this footnote over here. ייתכן גם שנהגו כהראש בדברים שהרמב"ם לא גילה דעתו, ובהרמב"ם בדברים שלא גילה הראש דעתו. אך מה שכתב מהר"ם דנון הנזכר לעיל שנהגו כהראש, אף כשהוא חולק על הרמב"ם והריף, איני חושב שהיה מקום בספרד שנהגו כך. ועיין בית יוסף אור החיים סימן י' ורדב"ז חלק ב' סימן ת' ר' ד'. אוקיי. וכן מתשובות אבקת רוכל. אבקת רוכל זה תשובות רבי יוסף קארו. סימן ל"ב שכתב ילמדנו רבנו קהילות שנוהגים כהרמב"ם זיכרונו לברכה בפקודותיו ובחומרותיו דור אחר דור. מה הוא לחוף אותם לנהוג כהרי, צריך לומר כהראש,
It's a printing mistake.
בזולתם.
Right, so that was the question. The question was brought to Shulhan Arukh, to Rabbi Karo. Should they obligate the people to follow the Rosh instead of the Rambam that they're being following?
No.
Alright? בזולתם. And others. תשובה. מי הוא זה אשר ערב לבו לגשת לחוף קהילות שנהוגים כהרמב"ם ז"ל לנהוג כשום אחד מן הפוסקים ראשונים ואחרונים? Who's going to do such a thing? Who dares come and mix himself up to do such a thing, to get people to follow somebody other than the Harambam? Harambam, זכרונו לברכה, אשר הוא גדול לפוסקים וכל קהילות ארץ ישראל וערביסטן והמערב נוהגים על פיו וקיבלוהו עליהם לרבם, ומי שינהוג כמוהו בפקודותיו ובחומרותיו למה יחפוהו לזוז ממנו? Who is greater than Harambam? Harambam, the greatest rabbi, that they follow him, in Israel and in the Arab lands and in North Africa, and they follow him, they accept upon him as their rabbi, who follows their leniencies and stringencies. Why should anybody come to try to force such a person to change? I don't understand. This is the answer of Maran. ומה גם אם נהגו אבותיהם ואבות אבותיהם כן, שאין בניהם לנטות ימין ושמאל מהרמב"ם ז"ל. And of course, if their parents and their grandparents, they follow Harambam, how all of a sudden the kids are going to come and change and to push away? You can't change it. This is your halakha, this is your custom, this is your tradition, this is respecting your parents. ואפילו רבו באותה העיר קהילות שנוהגים כהראש וזולתו, אינם יכולים לאכוף למעות הקהילות שנוהגים כהרמב"ם זיכרונו לברכה לנהוג כמותם, ואין כן משום לא תתגודדו שכל קהל וקהל כי יעיר בפני עצמו וכולי. But even if the city becomes a majority of people that follow the Rosh, and only the small group of people, a small number of congregations that are following the Harambam, they have to keep following Harambam. And this is not an issue of what to go to do, because each synagogue is like its own little city. Very, very powerful thing. Now, Chaim Yosef doesn't like this teshuvah, because it goes against his Minhag Yerushalayim,
I see, right.
And his Minhag Yerushalayim, sometimes he's following the real Minhag Yerushalayim. Right. Sometimes his Minhag Yerushalayim is Iraqi Minhag Yerushalayim.
Right.
Sometimes his Minhag Yerushalayim is Minhag Bet El of Yerushalayim.
Right.
Sometimes Minhag Yerushalayim is something that he claims, but nobody else ever heard of happening in Yerushalayim.
You know who told this to me personally? The chief rabbi of Tiberia.
Tebaria. Who?
I don't know how it came over talking about what he said. He says, you know what? I don't like how he says Minhag Sefarad, and meanwhile it's not Minhag Sefarad, it's his Minhag. Right. And he tells us it's our Minhag also. He says he doesn't like that at all. I mean, he says he follows some of the Halachot.
Well, that's something that we've been saying in this class for the longest time.
Yeah, I know, but
we
to hear it from
time and
him,
time again.
You know,
that's a big fight, and it seems that the fight is getting stronger as the last years.
Oh, yeah.
I think that there's more people writing about that. That's what
because it's very easily disproven.
Right.
That's the problem.
That's the problem. And this is Maran writing it.
That's the Maran saying it.
Maran that is right. He holds on to Maran and he says he's Maradeatra.
Right.
Right. And Maran himself is saying, well,
if they hold on, don't bother them.
Right, don't bother them.
But again, he's kind of promoting each one to his own. Shekol kahal v'kal ke'er b'fnei asmo.
Right.
You know?
Right. Tough.
So I have mixed feelings about this.
Very difficult.
But according to Maran, which there was no point in Maran making his book, because we should all just follow Harambam. If you think about this Shubha.
See, but it seems like Maran might be trying to really, because they might be...
Maran was trying to unite everybody and everything.
Right.
100%, there is no question about it.
So
and even if he wasn't trying to unite, even more than that, what he was trying to do, he was just trying to create a book for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
So why make this statement then?
Exactly.
Because that's how he speaks. If you see the his introduction to Bet Yosef, he says, I'm not writing here to obligate anybody to follow my book. If you have a minhag against what I'm writing, follow your minhag.
Right. Basically, it looks like maybe Maran's initial intent, was to create an encyclopedic work.
So that was the Rambam's intent.
But Rambam's intent was only his encyclopedic work, where Shulhan Arukh was more of a compiler. I'm going to bring you all the halachot of Rambam. I'm going to bring you all the halachot of the Rif. I'm going to bring you all the halachot of the Rosh. I'm going to bring you tons of things of the Tosafot that you never heard of in your life before, And I'm going to bring them all under one roof. I'm going to put you yesh, veyesh, veyesh, veyesh.
But that was a new innovation.
It was a very new innovation, yes.
It's not, but is it valid?
He thinks that it's needed. I think that he feels that, from what you read from him and from what's going on, I think that definitely this Rosh and this Rambam, and I think that during this time is more than that. Like what we were discussing the other day, the first book to be printed by the Jews that reached Turkey after the expulsion of Spain. What's the first book they print? The Tur.
Right.
And they say explicitly why they printed it, because they wanted a book of halakha for the people. So, hello, you have all the books that you could have printed.
Right.
That's what they felt was. So it seems to me that Shulhan Aruch really wants to try to find a way to make it easier for the people. Here, one book, or here, like you said, many they're all together. Right, like we were reviewing the Tilat Yadayim.
He wants to make everybody happy.
He's trying. He's definitely a peacemaker.
Right.
He's trying to be a peacemaker.
I don't think there is this, and he says it explicitly. And the fact that he doesn't want to fight that his book will be it. He says, if you have a minhag that's different in your community, do not take this as, as pure law.
Right.
What they do in the community is fine. Right. I mean, what seems to be interesting is that I don't know how many printings he did during his lifetime of Shulhan Aruch, but it seems like he did quite a number of printings.
Yeah.
So he was very...
At least 3 from what I recall.
He's very strong about, getting this book out there. Yeah, he really believes in that this thing will somehow will unite the people eventually.
Mm-hmm.
Not necessarily unite the people. Maybe it's not even an issue of uniting the people. Maybe it was just an issue of just making the halakha, all the halachot, from all the different opinions available to everybody. Like you have a store, for example, sells everything. You have a convenience store, some store that's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Anything you ever want is in that store. You walk in, boom, they have it. You want gum, it's there. Cigarettes are there. Drinks are there. Magazines are there. Toys are there. Clothing is there. Whatever you want, you can walk into the store and get. He wants to make a book for everybody. Here it is. You want it, it's here. You're a guy that lives in Spain, your law's in here. You're a guy that lives in Germany, your law's are in here. You're a guy here, your law's are in here. One book. This is my business venture. I'm out to sell books.
Is it really comprehensive, the Shulhan Aruch? It doesn't cover everything.
Covers everything that was practical for his day.
What was practical for the day?
Yes, sure it was. Was it missing anything?
Well,
it's for the day, and that's why he follows the tour in that sense. It becomes a lot easier to.
So much easier than the format of Rambam.
But you see,
very different.
But what's bothering me, it's like a precursor to what Hakam Ovadia is doing. Because what Hakam Ovadia does, like this rabbi says this.
Doesn't Hakam Ovadia say we follow Maran? He's following Maran.
No, I'm saying
Yeah, definitely.
In his style of writing too.
No, that style of Pesika becomes Maran sets the tone. Yeah. That we start bringing a number of poskim from that time on. Who did I don't remember if we have a number of poskim prior to that. That we use 2 or 3 poskim and we say, who do we have before that we say let's call it Humbra because of the many poskim and that. The tour does
I'm not following your question.
Like what Shulhan Aruch does, that he says, well, we have here 2 opinions, 3 opinions, 3 against 1, the majority.
Oh, you mean they're talking about the whole issue of Shalosh Ra'mudeh Hora'ah and pick 2 out of 3?
Right. Even because Maran
does. That exists before Maran.
It does, right?
It exists before Maran. We studied it over here about a year ago.
Who do you remember?
We studied it. I'll pull it out if you want. But we definitely studied it over here over a year ago.
So he's not the one that started it.
He did not start it. No. It already existed before. The question is, who originated the saying, we call them Mahmid Tabu ala Barakha? That's the question. Where does that originate?
Shahara wasn't right, does it? Mahmid Tabu ala Barakha.
I don't think so. See, Isaac, and you thought we were going to fly through this article. But you get to one page yet.
I swear I was just thinking that.
I know you were thinking that. I read mine too.
He's throwing in stuff that makes you
You have to understand, who's writing it? Yaakov Moshe Toledano. He wasn't some nobody.
Yeah.
The guy was Israel and Morocco and Egypt and back to Israel. The guy was a heavyweight. Involved in Dayanut. Whatever.
Yeah.
מכאן שאותן הקהילות שבספרד שנהגו מהן כהרמב"ם ומהן כהראש המשיכו בכך גם לאחר גירושם מספרד במקומות שישבו בהם. Because this proves that when people left Sefarad and they went to wherever they went, they followed. These groups followed, Rosh, and these groups followed Rambam, and
and they continued.
That's why you have this question in the Rocher. يشبوا بهم لأنه كما شناقوا بسفراد عاد شباب بيت يوسف كبعض الكلاب دخل أحريش الشاع عموده ولا So he's saying the Shulhan Aruch was Kobeya this Kelab Hari Vaharambam Vaharosh ومكوم ششنايم مهم حول كيما الهيحاد يخريعوها الشنايم. So double check who had that before. من الإيه شحذك الإشوش الكلاب زي شينهاجو كيلوشت عموده هوران إسكريم لو حد ديشتوها بيت يوسف فيسي إلا هي مسكام عود مكودم بين حكمها الدور
Okay.
شهرها الباز شهر الجدول بشانيمة بيت يوسف هزكير زي بتشوتاب حدا شوت حلق بيت سمان تركو شيكو هالجديدوت اللي كبلوا عليه بتهريف وهرمبام وهروش ويوت خرعتام خرعا بين أكيد بين أحمير بين بيتور بين حيوب. So this is not something that Maran invented, but already existed beforehand, and said it was something that was going on, and the Radbaz mentions it.
Interesting. Okay.
So it's not even the Radbaz is creating it. The Radbaz is just mentioning it. That's something that exists, that's going on.
Right. So this is going on already.
Right. قمنا شون بيت يوسف بعد ما تولد الطور ورحيم شكتاب ليوت شلوشا عموديها هراء أشي بي إسرائيل نشعان عليهم بهرؤوتهم هريهم هريب هرمبان بهروش بخله. That itself tells you that, you know, these are the people, these are the three guys everybody listens to. مخيم شلو هو حديش كلا زي إلا مكبالها يا بكاخ مكودم ولكن لحنام حردو هرشال. Hashal must be, what do we call it? Shlomo Luria. Because he smashes Maran Beit Yosef. حردو هرشال بعد ما طول أيام شلومو حولين.
حردو. Much حردو.
Haridu, they were afraid. They
trembled.
Trembled, right.
بعد ما طول يمشي شلومو حولي برما حولين برما بهدمات الخموشة نيجت بيت يوسف كيلو هو حدش كلا زي أمنام على حلقة شنيش للكلال بهو شيش لأخرية كي شلايم نيجتها إحاد زيه وحدوشوش لبيت يوسف وعزيه حلقو على بلوراك هذا الشال بهرما إذا قام كما مربنيها سفرديم كيفيش كتاه مهر شاخ شحي بيافان وكيف من غريس وبدوروش لبيت يوسف شكوتيب بحلق سمان خوف لما الدالت شربيم تفيسو على بيت يوسف ويش حلقو على بهريم بفنيم بخير هم هرم كستيلس بتشوبا كتاب ياد شيبيها بركي يوسف بحوش المشباط سمان كافيه شمي بيف لبيديم يهالوخ والبيت يوسف شكبع كده زي وبيحود كشيش مجدوده بوسكيم ميش عوزي لها إحاد ما شدوشا.
So they don't like it.
They don't like it. This is great.
But see, one thing when he says...
This is very interesting. You know, I was thinking about this a short while ago. And I thought, you know, how come I haven't read somebody that comes out against the system? You're setting up a new system. You know, and you know, it seems to be, even if the system, what is very interesting from what the rabbi is saying here, is that even if the system was already Kayam, right? The system.
The first part was Kayam.
Right.
The first part that these were the three guys.
Right. But it seems to be that he doesn't find anybody that wrote it explicitly, right? That's what we do, right? That
no, I'm saying that Radbaz mentions it.
Right, but look, the Radbaz is also from the 1500s.
Yeah,
right?
but the Radbaz is writing it before. The Radbaz was already the Radbaz was a prolific writer from very, very early on. That's number one. Okay? Number two, look at the quantity of what he wrote, obviously. Right. And number three, what's more important, he's not saying that he developed it. He's saying this is what's going on.
So it's
and this is before the Shulhan Arukh, you know, obviously publicizing his thing.
But it could be that Shulhan Arukh, because he becomes a famous guy, right, the famous author, so he all of a sudden it's on him that we pin it, because we don't have necessarily anybody else writing it explicitly before him, right? But the thing is that...
Well, we're pinning it on him only because he, like you said before, he printed it in his introduction,
right,
and he printed it again,
right,
and again,
right,
and again, you know.
And it's clear, and it shows in the book. right? So what I was wondering about, some months back, I was thinking, how come I haven't read anybody that wrote against the system? Somebody that said, what are you getting the system from?
Right.
We oppose it.
No, but we know this is in the Birkei Yosef before. It's very, very well known. If you open up the Hida, see, that's what's beautiful about the Hida. You have the Birkei Yosef, and the Mahzik Beracha, and the Shiurei Beracha. These three books, okay, are his running commentary on Shulhan Arukh. Or Hayim, Yoreh De'ah, Ibn Aizir, Hosh Mishpat. And he doesn't only put his comments. He puts comments of everything and anything he has ever read or seen. And since he traveled the world so much as a Shadar, he had access to so many Kitvei all over the place. And he went to research libraries to go and examine Kitvei that he would write and read and read and write and read and read, And he brings us so many things. So any time, when I was sitting inside Shulhan Aruch, okay, this guy pulls out Mishnah Berurah. This guy pulls out Kaf Hayim. And I look at all these people, what are you guys doing? I go right away and pull out Birkei Yosef. Anytime, if I have Shulhan Aruch on the table because I'm looking something up, Birkei Yosef is next to me. I'll never forget, one time I was sitting in Dil Kinis on Shabbat. I was sitting there with Birkei Yosef. Some guy looks at me, what are you studying? I go, what is that? I go, Birkei Yosef. What's that? She's like, what's that? I go, what's that? Nobody learns that. That's not something you learn. I go, so you want me to learn Mishnah Berurah? Yeah, of course, that's what everything is. I go, maybe everything for you. Nothing for me over there. Birkei Yosef has it all. So, you like one goes to guys, so go study the Kaf Hayim. I go, the Kaf Hayim's not for me either. Birkei Yosef is the words. And they just look at me, I've never seen anybody studying Birkei Yosef. I go, I'm sure I go, 2 minutes ago you haven't even heard of the Birkei Yosef. So what's the difference? You can anybody understand. But Birkei Yosef is very, very important. And also, whenever you look through the commentaries of the Sephardi Hachamim on Hosh Mishpat, you'll glean glimpses of how they examined the halachic process. It's very interesting. Go look at read Rafael Yosef Hazan, the Hakrei Leib. Hakrei Leib is a massive bunch of volumes, all running commentary on Shulhan Aruch with all types of Hiddushim. Go see over there all different things that he writes. Unbelievable. You learn so much by reading these works.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So we saw that obviously, and we said the be Shlomo Luria,
right,
and the be Moshe Isadish. As we know, the Ishkenazim, they came out against him. Okay? But it wasn't only that. We said, Elgan Kamad Mervei Sefarim, Kifi Shikatab Hamaharshach. I don't know who this Maharshach is, but he lived in Greece. Okay? And he was in the generation of the Beit Yosef.
Yosef, right.
And he writes it, alright, to Rabbim Tafsu al Beit Yosef. Rabbim Tafsu al, many came up against him. And there are those who fought with him face to face. Not just this guy right here, this guy right here. No. إيش يحلقوا على بني ببنيم. And Maharam Castilas. And Teshuvah كتاب And we find this, get this Teshuvah in the Birkei Yosef. Or would be Hayim Yosef David Azullah.
Right, so Tafshala Beit Yosef, they followed him, and then Veyesh Yahalku Alam.
No.
What is that? That's why I'm confused.
Rabbim Tafsu al Beit Yosef.
Tafsu, it sounds like it's a negative thing.
It's a negative thing. The force, I caught him.
They grabbed on him.
And then why you say Veyesh Shahalku Alam?
Because those Yishalku ala Karim Fanim. Not only is it goes Rabbim Tafsu ala, because many throughout the world they came, they caught him. What's this? What'd you do here?
Right.
No, not only that. They're the guys who went and fought with him face to face.
Who are you? What do you think?
What is this? Make up your own thing here?
This is
I forgot the Skype Monty.
Oh, we were going to Skype him?
Yeah.
Do you want to do it?
Should we still try?
We'll still be there.
That Baz, by Sifrat al-Omer, the Minhag Ve'elut, and
Right.
Baz, he's very upset with Shulhan Aruch.
Right. He
That's
shambles.
right.
Right.
It's a very, very happy time of the year. Shulhan Aruch just grabbed everything from the Tur and the Tosafot, and he turned it into a very mournful period with so many Minhagei Abilut.
Unbelievable.
Alright, so now here we are. We're about, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 paragraphs into this article. בלא ספק, גרמה התנגדות זו של כמה מחכמי הדור נגד כלל זה של בית יוסף, שלא לקבל את הוראות השולחן ערוך להלכה פסוקה, גם כשני דורות אחרי פטירתו של בית יוסף, אף בישראל, מקום משכן כבודו של בית יוסף.
Wow. So this is into the 1600s that he's not been accepted.
He's not being accepted still. But even within Israel itself.
Who's accepted? The Rambam then.
The Rambam is still accepted, yes.
He's the main.
He is considered the posek. Even Maran himself in the Abkat Rochel refers to Rambam as Gadol HaPoskim. וכל קהילות ישראל וערביסטן והמערב נוהגים על פיו וקיבלוהו עליהם לרבם. That's Maran's words in the Abkat Rochel as to referring to Rambam. So now we're saying that, below Safek, without any doubt, this opposition to Maran, even though just only, we'll say some Hachamim of his own generation in his day, because they didn't like his system, that created a reason for people not accepting Maran, and it seems that by the time that Maran passed away, even in Israel, Maran was not accepted as the posek. וסעד לזה יש ממהר"ם אלשיך בתשובותיו סוף סימן סדיה שכתב שבגבולותינו בישראל נוהגים כהרמב"ם שהוא מראה דעתרא.
That's Al-Sheikh. Right.
זה אלשיך, במשה אלשיך. ושם בנידון ההוא חולקים הרמב"ם והריף על הראש. This particular incident, whatever he's referring to over there, we have the Rambam and the Rif have one opinion, the Rosh have a different opinion. וממה שלא כתב הטעם ששני העמודים הם נגד הראש, נראה שאותו הכלל של בית יוסף נפסוק כשני העמודים לא נתפשט בשרפת גם אחרי פטירתו של בית יוסף. And since Maharam al-Sheikh doesn't even mention that we're talking about this is a case of 2 out of the 3 Amudei Hora'ah against the 1, that means, we can deduce from here that this rationale or this reasoning or this style of ruling of Maran Shulhan Aruch did not spread out and was not accepted even in his own city of Safed, even after his passing. He's very, very powerful.
Right, that's very powerful.
And give us a whole new outlook on halakha. והנה מה שכותב מהרי חגיז בשאלות תשובות הלכות קטנות חלק א' סימן קוף פ' ב'.
Hajjis.
Hajjis, the Turkish.
Right.
Not Egyptian, we call it Hagiz. Different, all depends where you come from.
A gift.
שאלת אם דנין בירושלים תיבנה ותתכונן קיים לי. What do you say, Rabbi?
In regard to?
Anything.
Right.
Anything.
I've been speculating into this area a little bit.
And?
I didn't know I thought it was accepted pretty earlier. I'm pretty amazed that it's,
You thought that what? That choosing 2 out of the 3 Amudei Hora'ah was accepted earlier?
Yes.
Or the whole concept of looking at these 3 as the Amudei Hora'ah?
Where does the concept even come from? Do we know, in terms of the approach, was it something that the Ashkenazim were doing, that they were taking Rashi, Rosh, Tosafot, and just doing that also? Is that
No.
anything,
If anything, in anything I've ever seen of the Ashkenazim, I've never seen anything like that at all. The Ashkenazim, as we generally know, each guy follows his own individual Sevara, and they don't seem to have such a system.
You know, the interesting thing would be, I think that the Rama might bring that system, won't he?
Of what?
In the Hagaot?
I don't know.
Well, let's say Yedei Kulam, sometimes he says that type of statement, the Haga.
Right, but that's not telling you that he's following a system.
the interesting thing is that we always had the presumption that the reason why he was the leader, the reason why he was doing that was to unify Am Yisrael. That was always my presumption of it.
That's something that we discussed, earlier on before we contacted you.
Right, and it seems like that's what he seems to be saying, and he's definitely, he doesn't want to be divisive. It seems from the statements that that he makes. That's in the Hakdama. He says that if you don't, if whatever I decided, you have a minhag against it, you don't need to follow what I'm saying. You do according to your minhag, right? So he doesn't seem to be divisive in that sense.
Was he writing for the public though?
That's my point now. I'm saying totally different than than Rabbi Nissim rather. I'm saying that Maran was not out to unite the people, even though upon first glance that's what we may think. I think Maran was just out there to create a popular halachic work. He was out to create a book that will include all the opinions, and whoever you are, wherever you are, you will find what you're looking for. And that's why he printed it again and again and again within his own lifetime. And he tried to spread out this work wherever it could go. And that's why when Rabbi Moshe Isserlish came along with his Hagahot, of course Maran welcomed it into his book, because it only added another dimension that he was looking for, to create and have a book that covers all aspects that anybody can use wherever they are. And he was out, he's a book dealer. He's out to sell books. And I'm going to have a book that's going to be everybody's book. I don't care who you are. If you are in Sepharad, if you are in Ashkenaz, if you're in Arabistan, you're in Poland, you're in Russia, you're in Babel, wherever you are, here is my book and everybody's going to know me. Rabbi Yosef Karo, I'm the guy who made the book. Here's the book available to you. And everything is there. And if in the interim it may help in other aspects to unite people, or to bring or to twist halacha, to a way that I seem to favor, and that's why I'm listing that halacha prior to other halachot, then all the better for me. Maybe I'm totally off base with this. This is just a strange assumption that I have by looking at how he formulated Shulhan Arukh and by other studies that I've read on it.
But there's still the point that when he begins that introduction, he says he's concerned that because of the many mahlokot, the HaTorah k'shte Torot, he says. The Torah now became like two Torahs.
Okay.
Right. So that's why you draw the idea that he's trying to bring the people to follow one path as much as possible.
Then why go and put Yesh Nohagim, Ve'yesh Nohagim? Don't do that. Put one thing.
I mean, if all the Sephardim were mostly following Harambam, then what was his need?
No, because I think that the point that we were saying before is true. It doesn't seem like they might all be following Harambam. Many might be following Harosh, but he also wants to conquer the world out there too. The world that's following other poskim and not the Rambam. Whomever is in Europe. So this book will attract you too, because it has. We have the greatest poskim, and we're trying to make two against one whenever there's a mahloket. So, but I'm not telling you what to do, right? If you'd like to follow my book, this is how we're making the decisions. I mean, and that's why it makes a lot of sense that there is opposition. Of course, there's got to be opposition. People must have been like, "What is this?" I think.
I mean, the work of the Beit Yosef, I think, was a great work. I mean, he really unifies the Talmud and brings it down to the Halakha.
Right.
And maybe we could look at it in light of the criticism that Harambam received from the, let's say, the Ravad, who says that he never cited his sources. I mean, the Beit Yosef was his primary work. Shulhan only came after.
Right.
So, maybe he wanted people to understand Halakha more. Maybe he wanted to, give a more in-depth understanding of the Talmud, which seems to be, I don't even know if Talmud was studied so much then by the Amiadites like it is now. I don't think it was.
No, it definitely was not.
I've never read his introduction. Does it give any indication of his wording and his intent?
Yeah, absolutely. You read it, and I think it's very clear on what he wants. He finds, and that's the introduction to the Beit Yosef. He feels that the Torah has become a book of many different laws followed by the people. Instead of the people following one same law, they're all divided. So he seems he would like to unite the people. That's why I think that there is a uniting factor there. That's what he seems to be saying.
Possibly. I don't know. What does he say in the Hakdamah? You're saying that makes you feel that there's a uniting factor over there again?
Because he says that Ne'estah Torah keshte Torot. He says the Torah became like two Torahs.
Right.
And he's a little bit, he uses interesting language. It has a shalom that that the Torah has become that because people are following many different books. So,
but what are the two Torah that he's referring to? Maybe he's referring to Torah Harosh and Torah Rambam.
I'm not sure if that's what it is.
Why would you say two Torah and not say many Torah?
That's the expression.
No, but you could say many. You could say more than one, more than two.
Yeah, I think that's a.
I think we have to continue more
poetic,
with.
Right?
Instead of just coming up with all this conjecture, I think we need to really continue with the article and see what Rabbi Toledan was really getting at. Mark, Rabbi Marky.
Yeah, I'm here.
I hear you flipping through something. What are you searching for? What are you finding?
I was just glancing at the. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. No, that's all right. I thought you found something interesting to share with us.
No, I was just glancing through the Hakdamah as well.
Oh, you have the Hakdamah there of the Beit Yosef?
Yeah.
I think it's because he builds that up. If you want to read it a little bit to us. It's the Beit Yosef. It's right at the beginning. It's funny how we raise our voices, right? I want to make sure that he hears us. I think he hears us pretty good anyway.
No, but none of us have a microphone right next to us. The microphone, a tiny little dot over there,
But it's amazing how this thing is picking up. He sounds like he's right here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to find it. I'd say we go on.
Okay, fine.
Let's see if we come across.
وهن مشكوتي ما هي حقيقة وشوات هتخوت كتوت حلق أسمع كف ببيت شاءت إما دايم بيروشلايم تبين تكونين كيمني في شوبا كيملي بقى شيني دان كزيت شيمكين بالتالتة كل حوش مشكات مع علام وحاصل زرعاد أبا أفعل بيش يصير بي جدوليم بكوري يعني بدي عاد ما מחלב אמונה של ישראל ונותן יד לפושעים ולחמסנים וחוששני שברוב הימים יבואו לבטל כל דיני הגמרא באומרם קיים לי כהי תנה או כהי אמורה, כהי תנה או כהי אמורה. That's what he's saying. You can't do it, Kam. No, I follow this guy. No, I feel that this guy's right. No, I feel that's right. Kamni. No, I have, I have my own reason. I can't put my own understanding. No, then you're going to destroy the entire Shulhan Arukh. You're going to destroy the whole system of halacha, because everybody's going to say, no, I'm going to follow this Tana, I'm going to follow this Amora, I'm going to follow this, I'm going to follow that. Because you can't do that. Because you destroy everything. Am I correct, Rabbi Nissim?
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry, go ahead.
My thing about that is that it's something else I've been, I learned with Rami about it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Discussing with the Rambam's idea of how the structure of Beit Din works within Am Yisrael. And the interesting thing about that is the Rambam says, as you all know, that there was a national Beit Din until a few years after Rabbeinu Rav.
Right.
And after that, it's the Galut, and after Bavel, there was trouble with travel, and there was dangerous, and there wasn't a national Beit Din because of complexity of the travel and the dangers of it. So then each area, city, had its own localized Beit Din, or each country. And that was what it was. That each locale was binding. So the Rambam didn't have a problem with, people here going that one way and people in the other city doing the other way.
Right, and?
Yeah, so if it's, it doesn't seem like they adopted the Rambam's model at all. Even, because if that was the case, it's okay. Everybody has their own Beit Din, and that's it.
Fine, that's a Beit Din, but they were talking about an individual person.
Well, he talks about, the Rambam also says, going to which Gaon, he says, following a certain Gaon's opinion, an individual as well. So you have to know what your mind makes sense, what makes most sense.
Exactly, that's why. So the modern day concept of Aseh Lecha Rab is a fallacy.
Right.
It's not something that ever seems to have existed until our modern day age. It's definitely not something that is written as halacha, or as a rule, or as a guideline, or anything whatsoever. Now, Aseh Lecha Rab, the way it seems to be fitting into in the Mishnayot of Pirkei Avot, it seems to be that it was just a normal advice because of the structure of halacha at the time. Aseh Lecha Rab was referring to find yourself a rabbi, find a methodology of studying based upon the school of thought of Bet Shammai or Bet Hillel. That's what it seems to be according to the Perush of Rabbi David HaNagid, the grandson of Rambam.
He's the one of... Okay. Beautiful.
He says that.
Very nice.
Okay. ועל זה הוסיף בנו של בעל הלקט אמר המניח כך מקובולני מפי מור זקני זכרון הברכה המהר"ם גלנטי כי בכל תחום ישראל אין לומר קיים לי נגד הרמב"ם ומהרי קרו ועל ראשם פירוש רש"י אשר הם אשר קיבלו עליהם ועל זרעם אחריהם אבותינו ואבות אבותינו גם בכל ערי ערבסטן ועל פיהם יהיה כל ריב וכל נגע וכל אחד מיניהו אפילו באלף לא בטיל ולקבלת סברת הרמב"ם יש רמז בבדק הבית ומפיו שמעתי שבזמנו חזרו גאוני ספרד תיבנה ותכונן בחברת גאוני עיר קודשנו ירושלים וחידשו תוקף הסכמה זו וקבלתה שלא יאמר אדם קיים לי נגד שום אחד מהנזכרים וכו' ועונשיה מסתיה يبطل دبر أحد مع عمودها وراء نسكريم البي سبرات يحيد املوش يحيد هزيه مفرسام برايوتام ودبرا شيكول حقمها دول يسكيمو كموتو بخلي. There's a very, very powerful statement over here. Let me just see this footnote. السروش الرشيع عم هرمبام وماريكا لكباته الأوتام لو يباندي لو رأيتي عاد كل ميشون بعدها أشكات بكاخ وبخلال يشحلو كده عود ابن رشيها يا برشان وقم بوسيك ليبي يوسف ورحيين سمانيو سيدي حامل بخلال بوسكي سمان حيط وطيت مش كتاب بتاع المطلب حيط الجيمال ده فوق طيت فاب. Okay, fine. So basically, Rabbi told that is just making a footnote over here that he doesn't see where this issue of, how he says over here, Ve'al Rosham Perush Rashi, because I don't understand where Perush Rashi fits in over here, because, I don't see anybody else who ever mentioned Perush Rashi fitting in, and there's a tremendous mahloket whether Rashi is looked upon as a posek whatsoever, and he's telling you, go look at the Beit Yosef, and go look at the Sidei Hamed, and go look at the Ta'al Mu'lib. Okay, so Beit Yosef Karo, Beit Hiskiyah Medini, and Biliyahu Hazan. Okay, but otherwise, it seems that his time period, they are saying that we accept Harambam and Mana Shulhan Arukh 100%. And nobody could come out against him. Unless the Yahid is Mifursam Birayotav Udbarav Shekul Hakmeh Hador Yaskim Kamoto. Guy comes up with an amazing idea, amazing concept, and everybody agrees with him. Then, okay.
Tough.
מכאן שלא בדיני ממונות בלבד שמוחזק היה יכול לטעון קיימני נגד השולחן ערוך אלא גם בשלושת חלקי השולחן ערוך האחרים לא נתקבלו הוראות השולחן ערוך להלכה לפסוק כשניים מעמודי ההוראה הם נגד השלישי החולק עד דורו של מהר"ם גלנטי הנזכר. מהר"ם גלנטי was what year exactly? Do you remember?
No.
Hey, Rabbi Maki, you remember Maharam Galanti what year? Not your forte. Alright, let me see if I could quickly dig it up over here. Give me a second. You know what? Give me up there. Give me Sam Maimon's book. I have it in the back, the purple book. Up one shelf. To the right. Yeah, that's it. I have it in the back there. I hope I wrote it in. Maharam Galanti was born 1620 and he died 1689.
It's not so much later.
It's later enough. He didn't take office until around 1670.
Yeah, that's 100 years.
Yeah, it's 100 years.
That's a big period of time. Don't kid yourself. He took office 100 years after Maran passed away.
But I thought with all this opposition, it would take a little more time.
Well, then, okay. And it's not even Maharam Galanti really writing it, it's his grandson writing it. Okay? But Yaakov Moshe Toledano was saying that it looks like this whole concept of accepting 2 out of the 3 Amudei Hora'ah didn't really go into effect until that time period. So let's say we're talking about 1675 approximately. Okay? So now he continues. Zeh mat'im. Where are we here? Why did I skip something? מהלשון שכתב הרב מניח שבזמנו הרב מניח, what's his name?
That's Hodges, no? No, is that it?
Must be, yeah. Yeah, it must be. Maria Yaqub Hajiz. Okay. Alright. מהלשון שכתב הרב מניח שבזמנו של מהר"ם גלנטי חזרו גאוני שפת וירושלים וחידשו תוקף הסכמה זו, נראה שעוד קודם לכן הייתה הסכמה כזו, אלא שלא נתקבלה בזמנה וחזרו וחידשו אותה. So yeah, there was some sort of haskama before, but it wasn't really fully accepted, so now they came and they rehashed it. Because it couldn't have been accepted when it was first established, let's say, by Maran Shulhan Arukh. Because every Hacham had his own system.
Absolutely.
The Beit Din had their system, the Hachamim, the Lomdim, you know.
That's why they went up to him.
But also that's why it took time. It took time for this period of approximately 100 years for all these guys and their teachings and their system and their self to die out or to be phased out until the new system could take place. It would have been impossible for Maran to say, okay, I came up with the system, everybody changes tomorrow. Who are you kidding?
Right.
Couldn't have happened.
Or into the level of scholarship is declining.
The level of scholarship most probably was declining, sure.
Right.
Was it? I think the other way around. It's going up.
It's changing. It's taking a different turn.
Right, but it's definitely they're learning. There's a lot of learning.
There's learning, but it's not on the same caliber as it was. You take the learning of the Radbaz. You take the learning of let's say the Radbaz. You're going to compare it to the guys who are 50 years after him or 100 years after him. We only hear about so many more of them because now printing was in place. So more people, more Hachamim, more Rabbanim have a chance to put their words out in print. Whereas before, we only really found out about the guys that were lucky enough and were great enough to have that opportunity. There's more learning, yes. Safed became known as this tremendous city of non-stop learning in every, nook and cranny. Well, what was going on and how was things looked upon? How were things accepted? I don't know. Let's read one more paragraph and call it a night.
You got it.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
It's late. Okay. زي ما تقيم جام لما كتب حيداه ببركي يوسف حوش مشبات سمان كافيه وبسفروش مجدوليم عرخ بيت يوسف ششما مبوم ربانان قديشه هشمعوهم بيها رافق جدول موفت الدور مهراح أبو العافية زخنون البركة شكبه مزكنه جيوني دورو شعلى كيلال شكيلال مران بيت يوسف لفسوك الشينايم شدوشا هريف והרמב"ם והראש הסכימו על זה קרוב ל200 רבנים בדורו, וכך היה אומר דמן דעביד כמרן עביד כמתן רבנן.
Chavadia mentions that somewhere, no?
Yeah, but obviously heard it, probably read it in the Hida, and the Hida herself was saying that he heard it from Rabbanan Kaddishe. Hisham'un fiha Rabba Gadom Fidom Arab Bihayim Abu Lafia. Okay, so as Kabbalah ish min ish.
Right.
Okay, so anybody who follows Maran, it's like you're following 200 Hachamim. נראה איפה שההסכמה הייתה עוד בדורו של בית יוסף, אלא שלא נתקבלה על דעת הכל, מפני התנגדותם של כמה מחכמי הדור. Even though this Haskama may have actually been put in place in his day, it was not really accepted by everybody because there was opposition. Kimi shekatab hamaharshach v'maharam Castillas, like I read earlier about Maharshach and Maharam Castillas, that they said, no, we don't like this. Where did they come up with this new formula from? And therefore they had to come and rehash and renew this Haskama in the days of Rabbi Moshe Galanti,
right.
The first Rishon LeZion. וכן כתב מחזיק ברכה, also the Hida, אור החיים סימן למד ח' וברכות מים יורד יעה סימן רש א' שאף בתחום ארץ ישראל לא נתקבלו הוראות השולחן ערוך אלא אחרי זמן ארוך מפטירתו.
Right, so all this goes against it because it's already a tertiary source. Look, it's from the other rabbi who heard from the rabbi Abu Af.
Right, fine.
So I don't know how valid is that, or maybe it's not even.
Why it's not valid? Why? There's no imunat hachamim.
Huh?
There's no imunat hachamim. That he is going to lie about
he's
the
not
people.
Gonna lie. It's just the game of telephone.
We understand the game of telephone, but still. Even so, the bottom line is the end of this paragraph more than anything else. They are saying even within the boundaries of Israel, the rulings of Shulhan were not accepted until after a very long time period after he passed away. So a period of approximately 100 years, like we surmised in the previous paragraph, for those days was considered a long time, let's say. Okay?
It's got to be, yeah.
Yeah, let's say they didn't really start accepting Maran until 1675. So this whole system that we've been following is only about 330 years old.
It's newer than
330 years.
It's newer than we think. Here we are with Maran, and it's not necessarily as old.
Right.
Yeah. It's fantastic.
To be continued.
Very good.
Rabbi Maki, we have to join you in more often and earlier.
I like that.
And we'd like it too. We like your insights. We don't know what our summer schedule is going to be. We have to figure out what nights I'm here, what nights I'm not here, and who else is here, who's not here.